Hello everyone and welcome back to Skizzlecraft. My name is RedWolf416. Thank you so much for joining. Hello Trenzalore Bound and Kiki, how are you guys doing? It is a wonderful end of summer evening here at about 9:30 in the evening. I hope everyone is staying cool, that it's not too warm, or if you're in the southern hemisphere that you're staying warm and it's not too cool right now. So as you can see, I've been working on adding to the gold cap of the pyramid behind me, and I've been doing some flattening over here. You can see I pulled Armand out of his little hidey hole. Now he's stuck in a boat, but that is not the main thing that I want to show you. I want to show you what we've been working on. Yeah, we've been framing out the Shrine of Kevin Bubbles Malone Refrigerator Jimmy Mad-Eye Dugan here, which is the housing shrine for our nether portal. So we have had to do a little bit of reorganizing of things. It does make the path up a little bit, it's in need of a little bit of adjustment. We'll be getting onto that in a little while. Probably not tonight. We got to make sure we got the foundation correct, but I know this is a lot of netherrack. It's everything's very red, but I like to use it because I have a lot of it to figure out the form and shape of my build, and then we're going to be working on replacing it with some actual decorative blocks. Now here I was just playing around with some clay pots. I don't think that's the right name for them, but what are they? Decorated pot. Yeah, I've been playing around with those, trying to get an idea of how I want to integrate them. But in these little bump outs, at least in the ones closest to the portal, or maybe the ones over here, I still haven't decided yet. That's where I'm going to be putting my little XP ATMs. And then we've got the columns here. I finished moving. I think I mentioned that in the last stream, but I did finish moving them all. And let's give a good game there to Suited Skeleton. But this is what we're going to be working on. Let me get some rockets in my hands and put my hat on. So we're going to take a look from a little bit further away so you can get an idea of the form of this. But this is what the front facade is going to look like here on the shrine, and at least as far as the shape. So we finally got the roof figured out, and I think that it is time to start getting some decorative blocks in place. We're going to be getting some, what is this? We've got whatever that is. Orange terracotta. We're going to be following a similar color palette here. So let's just get some orange terracotta. We've got some smooth red sandstone and some red sandstone, and we're going to start building this up in a similar color palette to what we've got going on here, because it is going to be on a little bit of a mesa plateau. But yeah, we'll start with this foundation here, and I may have to lay down a bit more netherrack so that I have a platform to work off of here. So let's get some of that as well while we're at it. I still have a whole bunch of netherrack in the tunnel, and you can see I have this extra gold piece here. So the unfortunate thing I found out today about our gold farm is that ever since spears were introduced, it got a little bit broken. So it used to be you could just AFK there and you would have plenty of gold pouring in, but the mechanics changed for when you have zombie piglins with spears in their hand. It takes a little bit more for them to take fall damage, at least all the way down to one-hit kill. So the farm is, if you want to get the gold, you gotta sit there and grind away at manual killing, which is a little bit of a pain. It makes it so it's harder to get lots of gold from there. And so we got what we could. We're still adding to the pyramid cap there, but it's going to take a bit more off-camera work to really get that going. So I'm just kind of filling in this right here so that I have a little bit of a platform to work from. I would use scaffolding, but I would have to have so many scaffolding towers going all the way down. I would rather just build it with something that mines really quickly. The ground level is actually going to be right around here. This is just so that I can reach under here if I need to while I'm making this initial foundation. But let's get going on some, let's see here, orange terracotta, and where'd my smooth red sandstone and my red sandstone go. Okay, so that's going to be my main color palette in here. Let's fly down here. We are going to be following kind of more of this color palette here. We may get into a little bit of the red terracotta. So let's go ahead and grab a stack of that. But yeah, I'm really excited that this building is finally starting to take shape. So I want to get this going. We're just gonna try and figure out the areas where it's gonna be dark, close to the ground. And excuse me a second. Pardon me. Had a little bit of a coughing fit there. Unexpected. Guess I haven't had to do much talking today, so my voice is a little not used to it. Fairbear, thank you so much for the follow. That's awesome. So glad to have you here. Hope your evening or day is going well, working on your tunnel. But yeah. Don't have much else to talk about other than stuff that you've already heard before. I mean, still trying to figure out how to get all this done. I will show you this. I did mock up just the shape of the ceiling. So once we get the final decorative pieces in there, then I will... sorry, I just got distracted by my nether portal frame being visible there. Once we get the decorative pieces in there, then we'll be able to start making the reflection down here. And yes, I use crying obsidian for the reflection. It is a lot of it is going to be hidden by the smoke effect or the I don't know what you call that, the faded mirror effect that I'm going to do with the fog and glass. Man, those have the opposite color effect from what I thought. This one actually looks lighter than this one, so we're gonna swap that up. There we go. And then we'll get back to the darker stuff in here. The red is going to be more of the areas where the ground is kind of, the dust from the ground is going to be bleeding up. So right now I'm just trying to get kind of a base pattern idea going. In fact, let's switch back to that right there. So the first couple of passes with this is always a little bit difficult to kind of wrap my head around, but eventually we get to where I'm satisfied with the pattern that I'll have going on, and we'll be able to move a little bit faster. Like, it is going to be getting lighter as we go up, but I am thinking that I need to keep this lower part, actually this darker color. I almost want to keep it more of a red. Like, this is too orange. Maybe we'll have that fade up from there. So this is what I was talking about, how the first one is always a little bit slower. I want to get something a little bit more red looking. And then we're going to get some more of that red concrete, and we're going to be introducing that in there. We're probably going to be doing some more of the quartz and the bone block. So maybe I'm going about this the wrong way. Maybe red isn't the answer. Maybe we need to introduce something else. Let's put this shape back in place. So y'all are getting to see my creative process here, which is always a little bit slow until I get going how I want. I don't know. I think I'm torn. Like, I kind of want the inside to be all of this nice bright colors and the outside to have a more of a sandy look to it. But maybe it would be better if I just kept everything looking very similar. Well, let's go grab some of this stem stuff. Let's see what we can come up with. Let's put some of this stuff in here. And we'll go with this. All right, we're gonna try a little bit of a different tactic here. There we go. Got the grain going the correct way. Now let's go up. How are we going to get up there without destroying our wall? By the way, the music we are listening to is Stream Beats by Harris Heller. And let me just check something really quick. The album is called Trouble. And Stream Beats is DMCA free music that can be found on Spotify that Harris Heller makes available for streamers. So yay for that, and thank you. Okay, I'm going to put some of this netherrack back so that we can see what we're dealing with here from a distance. Is that something we want to keep? And do we want to put some of those embellishments in it? Those kind of chevron shapes. We may want to. Let's tie it in. So this may end up being a brighter build than I was expecting. Let's just see if we can't grab those rockets and make a fancy pants landing. There we go. And hi, Fairbear. Not only thank you for subscribing, but welcome to the chat. Glad you're here. Let's see here. We're going to change the shape a little bit on this. It would help if I had the right tool. All right, and then let's go get that bone block. So we're going to make one of these columns and just see how we feel about it. Bone block, we're going to go with smooth quartz. And we're going to get that red concrete. And let's see where we're going with this. So we are adding a little bit more depth on this one because we're having the, again, what is this stuff called? Stripped warped hyphae. Oh, man. I'm never going to remember that. We're having that bump out, which we don't have on the columns. But we do want to make it look a little bit dirty there. And then we're going to go into the quartz. And that might still be a good spot for the stripe right there. Which that stripe may continue all the way around the wall. So I may want to actually, yeah, I want to make that a little bit higher up. Because we need to pay attention to how it looks with the rest of the form of the building. Okay, let's get more of the white in there. Maybe. Not sure how I feel about this being bumped out quite like this. Unless we bump it out more, but I don't want to do that. Okay, let's see here. Can we reach any more of that netherrack? There we go. Okay, coming in for a landing. Oh, I slid right off. All right, we'll just tower up from the inside. I did have a scare earlier today where a creeper ended up in here because I hadn't really been torching it up as I was putting the roofs on. Yeah, that was a little bit entertaining. Okay, let's see here. We'll do bone blocks. That's not bone blocks. that. Okay, now let's look at this. Okay, so from a distance, that's looking pretty cool. Let's zoom in a bit. And then we're going to make this top be more of this hyphae. Yeah, that, I mean, at least I don't, Kiki, yes, that would be a terrible place for the creeper to be. At least I didn't have a whole bunch of my glass in there for the fog effect. So here's the thing that I'm having trouble with. I like the level of the stripe on this column, but you can see that the overall shape of this, like, see how this is about 2/3 of the way up the column, but it's less than halfway up the rest of the building, and I don't like that. I want the stripe to still be about 2/3 of the way up on the building, and so that is the... Oop, what did I just do? Hit the wrong button. So that is the design issue that I am facing. No, sleep. But let's continue making this frame, and then we'll figure out where the rest of that is going to go. So we need to come up here, do another fancy landing. Ow, that was not it. That was just me bonking my face. And go like this. This is going to be a little bit tricky. I'm going to have to place some extra blocks and then tear them out later. Which, when my extra blocks are the same as my other scaffolding blocks, it's going to start to become a little bit difficult to tell what's going on. Is there a good place for a creeper? Yes. It is called this right here, my rocket factory. That is the only good place for a creeper. All right, so I'm thinking I want to add a little bit more thickness to this ledge here. And I have a couple of options for it. I could do slabs, but they're not slabs of this color of green. They'll have to be the... well, it's not called hyphae. It is warped stairs, or I'll have to do warped slabs. And you can see they're just a little bit darker. I'm also thinking about putting this stair effect in there, but that is 2 blocks wide. So let's play around with a couple of options here really quick. Let's do this. Let's get some more stairs. And sure, we'll get some more of these too. Hopefully 24 stairs is enough. So my question though, are they really there? They're only really there when I'm standing on the button, or on the pressure plate up there. Of course, I can't see that they're there, but I'm seeing the effects of them having been there, and that I get lots and lots of gunpowder. That is not how I wanted you oriented. Let's see here. You know, if I turn these into slabs, I would use half the material. So maybe I'll do that. Philosophy Minecraft. Yeah, something like that. It's kind of like the it doesn't exist until it's been observed, or it's kind of like oh, what is it? Electrons can't be observed while they are in motion. They can only be observed when they are static. So it's kind of hard to prove that they're in motion or something like that. I don't know. It's been so many decades since I learned that. And I use the term learning loosely. Okay. Okay, we'll stand up here, bonk my head a little bit. Problem is, this is still the top where something could spawn, so I'm probably going to have to get some glow lichen to put up there. According to Tango Tech, that's the best lighting source ever. So that's kind of interesting, having it like that. I'm not seeing the shading, though. That's kind of, that's interesting. It's barely visible. And I'm not sure how I feel about that being a slightly different color. But let's let it ride for right now. I gotta get rid of that. I still have the jump boost from over by the pyramid. Okay, and we get rid of that. Oh, give me those. So, yeah, this platform, this floor level is actually going to extend out to here and even beyond a little bit. So, I have a lot more terraforming to do on these, on this gradual path leading up to it. But, okay, the best way to do this, I think, is to place a layer down here. And then come up here. And we're going to start building our way up. I can find the right height. Okay. Is that right? That looks right. Hopefully I've got enough. Oh, too much. Can I? Oh, come on, red. There we go. And then bone block. Bone block. Bone block. I wonder if I can reach. Can I reach that far? No. Nope. Can't reach that far. Okay, there we go. And so we're gonna pop that in there. I think that's right. All right. And then we get this going on. And let's take a look at this again from a distance. I keep coming over here because in my mind, this is sort of the main viewing angle. Coming out of the pyramid here. I'm gonna see this, but it is quite far away. I will say that. Well, at least I got my stripes at the same height. Okay, so maybe maybe what we'll do is we'll just keep those stripes on the columns, and maybe we will have the outsides also have the columns, but then we'll do something more reddish in here. Yes, the sound of bone blocks is amazing, as well as mining them, which is very similar. Yeah, it's one of my favorite sounds in the game. Okay, we're gonna extend this little platform out. Try and make it so I still have room to walk up and down the path. Not sure if I am, but we'll see. Oh yeah, you can go away now. Yeah, that's good. I'm just trying to make sure that I don't fall in some hole. Is it sunset already? Almost. Man, it's like the days are so short. It's like 10 minutes and it's gone. Okay, let's see. And now let's put some of that down. Looks like there's a hole I can fall in there. Don't want that. Suited skeleton. See you later. Okay, and back to this. So let's try and see what we can do here. I think we're going to make this next one be a little bit taller, which means I need more of that stuff. Warped stripped hyphae. There we go. I'm probably going to have to hit that farm. I'll probably go until I'm out of these materials, and then we'll have to switch to something else or something. I got to take a look at how much sand I have. I've been saving up my sand that I've been digging out there because I want to make a whole bunch of TNT and do some a little bit heavier duty. I just cannot place blocks correctly sometimes. Yeah, I want to do some serious mining in the industrial area, so we might be able to, I don't know, you might get to see some boom booms tonight. Oh, this is an even number. This is gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I? Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is an even number, so this is gonna look a little bit different. In other words, I have no idea how this is gonna look, and we'll just have to see if we like it. And we're gonna go up a little bit higher for this red stripe. We'll put the red stripe. Well, I think I mined a few too many there. We're gonna put the red stripe in right here, I think. Which means that all of this is going to be the smooth quartz. I'm out. No. I have to go to my backup supply. I'm gonna have to go find some more in the shopping district and buy some more soon. At the rate I'm going. That is looking good, though. I didn't really take a close look at. Oh, come on. At where that red stripe is sitting. Okay, we'll just climb up here. Kind of wish there was something a little bit darker than this, but still within that warm off-white. Nope. Give me that. All right, let's get down here and go to our observation point. Zoom in a bit. Okay, that's looking pretty interesting. I'm liking that. Our guesstimate on where that stripe needed to be was pretty good, in my opinion. I'll go with that. Let's get the other side, and then I guess we're probably going to be making this most likely going to be the same coloration there. Yeah. Oh, an ivory block would be awesome. Yes. Hadn't even thought of that as a material. Boy, but how would you get that? I mean, oops, wrong buttons. I mean, are we going to actually go that route of, you know, having elephants that we farm? I think a lot of people would have a problem with that. Why did I swap that? Nope. There we go. Yeah, some people might have a problem with that, but, you know. Okay, and then we're gonna... Oh, we still got that. And these edges. That's gonna be interesting. See, that's the nice thing about the columns that I have here. The texture change is still happening on the same surface, so I'm still unsure about having all this bumped out. But it needs to be, unless I make it so this bump out is more of a visual thing and not an actual physical thing. I don't know. We'll put that in there for right now. Maybe we'll do something like this. That looks dumb. Now I have one of those blocks up there, and I don't want it to be up there. There we go. Yeah. Yep. I'm not sure if that means that I got to make this be the blue. Yeah. Let's get this made, and then we'll make decisions. Yeah, some kind of mineral would be good. Because even I don't know how I would feel. Like, when it's fictional animals, like creepers and stuff like that, Endermen, no problem whatsoever harvesting them for the goods they provide. But, I mean, when you got something that's already in real life kind of on the endangered species list, you know, it's... the morality of having that in a game where you have to farm them to get ivory is a little bit sketchy at best. Let's see here. I think I did the right number here. Should be 3. 1, 2, 3. And then this one is going to be the red stripe. Yeah, another mineral would be good. Trying to think of what that could be. I mean, shoot, if they just... Well, hold on. We're experimenting. I have no room left. Okay. Here we go. Not that. Let's put some of this in my adventure box. Okay. Experimentation time. Let's take a look at this here. It might be a little too pink. Maybe. And I've thought about using the concrete. I've thought about using like gray concrete, but it is just so... how do I put this? Flat. Like, I mean, look at the red there. Look at how flat that color is. So I thought about using like a light gray concrete. I only want to use this on the undersides. Oh, give me that. Yum, yum, yum. Let's do a somewhat graceful landing. And we'll just tower up. We'll take a look at this. We'll do a left-right comparison. Okay, and then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Yeah, my face. Oh, come on. It's gonna be one of those nights. I got time before the sun sets. Ugh. Ugh. So gross. What about calcite? Maybe. Calcite is also fairly white. I think I have some somewhere though. Let me sleep. Are you thinking the calcite would go like where I have the white terracotta right now? Like in between the bone block? Or I mean before the bone block? Let's see here. Let's go find some calcite. I know I've mined some in the creative world. The not creative, sorry, resource gathering world. That is not a creative world. That is not calcite. I was certain I had mined some. Oh, I could do mushroom stem. Oh, that might work. That's slightly darker. I don't know. I thought I had calcite. I apparently do not. Oh, there it is. Okay, we'll grab some calcite. Okay. Adventure box. Take that and that. My adventure box is getting very filled with non-adventure-y things. I mean, okay, so let's look at this. We've got bone block. Calcite is a little bright. Maybe it needs to go before the bone block. It's actually whiter than the quartz. Ah! Now watch where I'm backing up. It is ever so slightly whiter than the quartz. I like how it kind of goes to that yellow for the bone block. So let's try something here. Mushroom stem might be the answer, honestly. And if I make it so there's some irregularity up there, I gotta make sure that I always use silk touch when I'm doing the mushroom stem. Of course. Used everything in my... Or I put everything in my adventure box. I could make it be a bunch of white shulker boxes. I'm kidding. Let's see here. Ooh. Don't want to lose those. All right. Perfect. Okay, what was I doing? We're going to be doing a couple layers here, but I actually want to make things a little bit more interesting. Yeah. Okay, mushroom blocks. Let's do that, and then that there. And then, so that I don't accidentally place the calcite, because I didn't like that. It was a good suggestion. I appreciate it. Just not what I was going for. That. I guess we'll do that again and that again. Let's see if adding a little bit of noise to it helps. Okay, that might actually work. That might actually work, though it does look very symmetrical. A little too symmetrical. But not horrible. I think it depends on how we use it up here and over here. So yeah, and I only want to use the mushroom stem blocks on the overhangs. Like I don't want it down here. Let's let it ride for right now. Yeah. Did I open enough for a landing? Oh, not quite. All right, I'll do it the lame way. Just wanted to be awesome. I think what will help is if we don't completely mirror that pattern here. Like maybe if we do 2 down there, like it's dripping more in the middle. Then we do 1 there. Let's do there, and let's bring this in like this. Do 1 more there. It's got a little bit of a moisture drip going. Well, not a moisture drip. I don't know what you call it. Like this is an arid climate. there's not rain. Actually, that shrine is going to be seeing some rain. It is hanging out over a river. Oh, I just kind of made that a straight line, didn't I? Yeah. We'll keep going with that. It still looks really harsh going from the mushroom stem to the bone. We'll let it ride, like I said, and see how it looks once we get the rest of the facade done. There. Okay. Now, am I going to have that be more orange across there so that the accent of the columns really stands out? Look at you, you sneaky little guy. Hit. Okay. Let's get this roof done, and then we'll get this central part going. And maybe we'll work on the insides of these columns. So I'm thinking that we're gonna need these. Yes. Okay. Let's deposit a few things. We can always come back in here for them. Those, and those. We only want to be working in this color palette right now. So let's maybe get a few more blocks. There we go. And I think I'm going to need a few more of these. Yep. Started to get a little out of control there. Perfect. Okay. I gotta mine them all up again. Hopefully this is enough to actually do what I want to do with that roof. Now, as far as that stripe, we're going to have that coming around in here, and it is at a different height. That does bug me a little bit on this, but I really like the height on these. So, changes may need to be made somewhere. I'm not sure where. Oh, my rockets. Oh, what am I doing? These need to go like that. There we go. So what I'm thinking is in here, especially right here, we're going to want to make these be the planks. Like this, just so we can get a little bit darker color. Let's go sleep. Nope, that's not sleeping. I'm too lazy to switch tools. There we go. Yeah. All right, yeah, we want that to be a little darker in there. And I think we'll even make these be a little darker too. Am I doing that right? Skip the corner. We have one. Okay, something didn't look right, but all right. 4, 1, 2, 3. Wait a second. Something ain't right. I think. Thank you, Transalor. I think I know of a place too. Something like Tool and Die or something like that. Come on. Am I messing this up completely? That looks right. That looks right. And then we need this. I'm afraid I'm really messing this up. That means we're going to have to do some more counting with red. One of my favorite pastimes. Three, four. Oh, that means this needs to go out too. Okay, okay. I see what's going on here. I counted poorly before. Oh, come on. One, two, three, and four. Okay. I want that to match the columns below. Okay, that's good. I mean, maybe we should make that be some of the mushroom stem. That would kind of like make it seem like it's continuing. No, it's fine the way it is. I think once we get this stuff in, it'll be fine. Yeah, let's just keep going like this. Problem is, I gotta add a layer that I had forgotten about. And where do I want to do that? Okay. Gotta do some towering. And let's pull this out. Get a couple more stacks of this. Now that we've freed up our inventory a bit, let's get some nom-noms. And I got a bit of work to do. This is the only annoying part about the hyphae stuff is I'm particular about the grain direction. And that means that I need to do silly things like this wherever I go. I think I can make this work. I don't have to keep towering up. I think I can go like this. Let's not do that. A piece. Nope. There we go. Okay. Now we can do this. That's better. I start mining that out. And now I know that I got to build on top of that. Oh no, don't tell me. Okay, good. I thought those mushroom stem blocks were going to be all messed up because I had blocks next to them. Whew. Gave me a little bit of a panic attack there. Come on. Nope, too far. Oh, must be rainy. Now. I have a feeling I am going to run out of these things long before I finish this project. And y'all might have to put up with me mining a little bit more of these stems in order to just get this roof line done. Let's come over here. You don't need to be there. In fact, you need to be here. Oh, come on. Oh. Oh, good. There's a few more. All right, let's go pick up our bits. Take a look from a distance, see if we're on the right track. Oh, ah! I'm gonna use up all my rockets doing this. And my wings. Oh, come on. I am probably making this way more difficult than I have to. There we go. We can get rid of all that. Okay, let's just do this. Gotta make a mess to clean up my mess. Well, it looks to be getting to actually be nighttime. We'll come back up here. Time to go sleep and get rid of this wetness. That was a little bit easier since we had gotten some of that netherrack out of the way. Alright, you're gonna have to forgive me for this, but it must be done. Hit boxes. I want to see where all my bits have gone. Anything over there? Nope. Oh, there's one. Nope, that is not one. Out. There's some. We got any floating down here? No, surprisingly. I do see the drowned. He's not bothering me right now. Might be if I fall in the water. My face. Need to go get more steaks soon. Speaking of farming animals that actually exist. Okay. Well, let's go make another layer up here. So, oh, you know what? This will need to be like that. That's just our guide. Let's go get a different block for our backing block. Since I've got so much of this shape made with netherrack, it gets confusing when I put down netherrack that I need to mine and then stuff that I don't need to mine. What did I do? Give me that. Okay. We're gonna be losing our music here soon. I'm gonna have to find a new playlist to play. Welcome back. Didn't mean to yell that. Oh, let's see here. We can keep this as netherrack here. Okay. One there. I gotta make sure that I'm clicking on the correct face. Oh. Excuse me, sir. Well, I guess I need to go get some more of that stuff. Maybe I converted too much to planks. That's a few. Let's see here. Only 9. We're not gonna get very many out of this. Let's see here. Put that in there. Let's break out the adventure box again. Put a few things away. We need the axe, and we are gonna need lots of bone meal. I guess I do need the pickaxe still. What have we got? Nothing. Let's steal some. Okay, there is some in there, and we need a stack of these. Trenzler, it was so good to have you here. Thanks for hanging out as long as you did. I know it was getting to be a pretty late night for you, but yeah, it was good to see you. And hopefully I'll catch you sometime on the server or in the next stream. So have a good night. I think when I select the next music playlist, I'm going to go for something a little bit more mellow. Yeah, it's not a perfect farm. Almost done though. We'll get through this stack of warped fungus. Awesome. Okay. And I won't spend all the time getting the what is this stuff? Warped wart and shroom lights. We'll save those. I've only got one rocket that I gotta get up to the top with. I mean, I got lots more rockets, but I'm being lazy right now. Don't like the order I had those tools in. Ow. My knees. Okay. We'll just make planks out of those. That's fine. Let's grab this and just toss these in here for now. And I guess I do need to get more rockets out now. Okay, back to it. Oh, and you know what I need to do? I need to get these back out. At least one. And that way I can do this. Place this last block and then tally-ho on out of here. Now let's go look again, and this time I'm going to turn these off. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So I'm thinking I may put half slabs up there. And I may not want that roof to overhang the columns like that. But I got to build up the columns on the sides too, make a good decision on that. Let's get out of here before stuff starts spawning around us. Okay. So now the question is, what are we doing with this center section? Do we keep the stripped warped hyphae as the bottom border, or will that be a bit too much? Oh, you know what I need on those columns? I just saw it when I was looking, or not on the exterior columns. You know what I need? I just saw this when I was looking at these. I need something like this going on. Let's grab that. And let's grab that. Let's just play around with something really quick. That might make them bump out too far. I don't know. Well, it sounds like the music ended. So as soon as we come back here and look at this, I will go get that music going again. That might be a little much. That's too much going on. Yeah. Yeah, it's too much. Ow. Sorry, I know. Music. I got distracted. That's a little better. Or maybe I need to add some shelves as a band of white around the bottom. Yeah. Sorry, wrong button. Okay, let's get the music going again. That album was Trouble. We're going to go with something a little bit easier. We're going to go with the album Groovy. One of my favorites that Harris Heller has. Yeah, I don't like the way these are here. Maybe some pale oak shelves or something like that. We'll take care of that later, though. Not today. Man, what I wouldn't give for some actual vertical half slabs, though. Man, that would be nice. Okay, we got to figure out what's going on in here. So the question, do I keep with this color scheme or do I mix it up a little bit? I kind of want to mix it up a little bit in there. Let's go take a look at our palette over here. I'm thinking maybe more in this range. That is a pretty harsh line right there. But I could get into some of this, make it look a little dustier, and then get into the sandstone. So what do I have in the way of smooth sandstone? Not a lot. I think I've got a little bit over at my furnace over here. Smooth sandstone and a bunch of sand. Let's get this. Wait, I know where I've got some stuff. Pardon my crazy flying. Okay, we need to get rid of some stuff first. This. Don't know why I've got this. Got too close to Armand, I guess. Okay. My miscellaneous box is getting a little full, isn't it? Smooth sandstone. Awesome. Okay, that's good. Maybe we'll just go with 3 stacks for now. Let's go back to where we had that. Ow. And what have we got? Let's bring in some... That's a little harsh. Stripped birch. Stripped oak. Okay, let's check this gradient here. Not that. Okay, that's a pretty good gradient. And then if we get the smooth quartz in there, if I remember right, we still need the bone blocks to go into the smooth quartz. So let's see. You know, that makes me wonder if I had already figured out some of this gradient. I wonder if I need to be going to sandstone up there instead of the mushroom stem. That might be a little better looking. Honestly, it might. All right. Let's see what we can do here. See if we can work a little bit of gradient magic. So we want the darkest stuff in the corners. And let's work our way out. Okay, that might be a little too regular looking right now, but we can noise it up later. Let's make it a little bit irregular there. Luckily, the smooth sandstone is not as directional. But the bone blocks are. Oh, let's see here. Is that too? Might be a little too regular looking. It's interesting. It does bring a little bit more of a dirty look to it. I might be getting a little too dark there. Might only go as far as the birch. Now there is, I could introduce a little bit of regular sandstone rather than smooth sandstone, and that acts as an in-between color. I don't have it in here. I do have it down here. It acts as a nice in-between color on, let's see here. I don't need the food here right now. There. Now we're getting a lot of layers to this gradient. But where we've got this kind of stuff going on, you can bring in that here and there. Like that. Now let's take a look at this from a distance. Yeah, that's a smoother gradient. So that's kind of showing the accumulation of sand. Maybe we do want a little bit more of that going on these columns too. I definitely think I want to swap out those stem blocks for some of this sandstone. And maybe even get a little bit of darker stuff. I think we'll keep it lighter on the columns so that they pop a little bit more. What I need, though, is I need to clear a landing space is what I need. Is it seriously night again? Ah, my goodness. I just realized I didn't have my chat up. Kiki, you said that would be amazing. Are you talking about the vertical half slabs? comment that I made, or is that something else? Sorry, I didn't have my chat window up, so I didn't see when you mentioned it. Yeah. I've heard years ago Mojang said that they would never do vertical half slabs, but then they just brought in the bookshelves, or not bookshelves, the shelves really recently, and that's a close substitute, but it only sorry, hitting all the wrong buttons. That is a close substitute, but it only works with the wood variants, which there are getting to be a lot of wood variants, which is nice. But yeah, I'm not sure if we'll ever get the slabs or the vertical slabs like we would like. Let's make you dark again. Guess you need to be taken away too. So where are we? We're quartz and bone. Maybe we'll do. Did I run out of bone blocks? There we go. First, now my landing is going to be even more difficult. There we go. Let's do a bone block here and a bone block here. And I want there we go. There. Okay, so we need to make this be dark up here. In fact, I may take away some of the oak down below because this needs to be in more shadow up here than it is down here. Oh, my knees. No, missed it. Yep. All right. And then we'll probably keep this as birch across there. Maybe we'll not do that. Yeah. Perfect. And maybe we will skip something, or maybe we'll make it. I don't know. It's just becoming this angle, and I don't like that. Oh, now I'm running into a problem. Conflict of colors here. Why do I keep jumping off of that? Maybe we'll start making this a little darker here again. Okay, and then, yeah, we'll do a couple that are dark. We'll do a couple that are lighter, and then we'll go back to dark. Maybe one more that's light. Just to add some flavor. There we go. That means that at least is going to be dark, well, medium. Maybe we'll do a little bit like that and that. Just trying to take inspiration from B00-100 and see if I can get some kind of gradient in there. It is looking very checkery just because of how the logs get darker at their edges. But I don't know if vertical or horizontal would be better. I mean, when you look at it from here, the shading is good. When you look at it, say, from here, it's okay. I think we are going to lighten that lower part, though. I also wouldn't mind putting some kind of geometric design in that center part. I'll have to work that out, though. What that's going to be. Let's do something here. Let's just go like that. Get rid of these darkest bits here. They are not necessary on this lower part. There we go. We may even bring it down to just the sandstone. Now that kind of darkness is okay. So let's see here. I'm gonna go that, and that means this needs to be dark. Probably more like that. Oh, my knees must be killing me. You know what else I need? I need to eat. I need to go get more steak. Okay, that gradient's looking good. Let's go take care of those mushroom blocks, though. We'll keep these a little bit lighter. Oh, nuts. They're all messed up now. Maybe. Maybe they're okay. I don't know. Okay, we are not going to do the oak up here. In fact, we're going to go like this. We're going to go sleep. Okay, and let's see here. You know what? I don't like that. See how this looks. Yeah, I'm realizing in looking back that this gradient issue was something that I had figured out already, and that's why I had that palette over there. That looks so much better. However, it's all starting to look the same. Definitely needs something geometric in there. Maybe a heart shape. I don't know. It's kind of already got a heart shape. Let's see here. It is starting to blend together as all one texture, though. Like seeing the columns in there versus columns out here. I mean, these ones are dirtier because that's where the grime builds up, is outside. I have thoughts. What am I getting rid of? What am I ditching? Mushroom stem. There we go. White terracotta. I mean, this could be. Let's see if this is the geometric shape we're going for. Let's just pop one on there. I'm not gonna make it always stand out like I'm about to do, but I just want to see something. See how the color combination works. I mean, that might work. I would rather have it be even with it or indented even. But that color might work. Or I could do more red. Ow. Okay, we'll let that marinate for a little bit. I want to get going on this side. I want to get this whole recessed portion done. We still got to figure out what we're doing with this lower bit. But I haven't decided on that yet. So again, I think I'm going to let the other part marinate. Okay, let's see here. So that's right. We're going a little bit lighter here. You can stay there for now. Okay. Skeleton. Okay, and let's see. We're back to boop, boop. We'll get that done there, and then it's time to bring in the bone blocks. Just go. No, we don't want that. And then these are the bone blocks right here. And now quartz. I will try and avoid a heart shape this time. Hey! Ow! Put that back. Okay, and then we'll put that in there. Make it come down like that. This. Okay, I'll get out of the way of my own building. That. Oh, quit putting the wrong block in there. Okay, and then start bringing this pattern down. Let's see here. We need, no. That to come down. I guess we're gonna make this be smooth sandstone then. Sometimes I have plans, but then the gradient dictates a change in those plans. Ow, ow. Think it's gonna have to be. I'm gonna have to be calling it a night soon. I keep hurting myself. I want to get this wall finished. This front facade determines everything else about this build. That looks pretty good. I think I'll go make myself some more of that purple terracotta and see what we can make of it. Let's just use some of the orange. I did not even get either of those. fact, if I remember right, I have some purple dye right here. There we go. All right. Sleep. Good night, Fairbear. Because I have more, I think I want to change this icon just a little bit. I mean, I'm making it up as I go. And let's see what we've got over here. There we go. Let's make up a slightly different one. Oh, I'm out of food. Let's make up a slightly different one. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could have sworn I had 7 in there. Oh, I have 7 to there. Okay, I gotcha. This one might take up too much room. Give me my bits. Yeah, that's taking up too much room. Come on, give me my bits. These symbols have no real world bearing on anything actually Egyptian. They are just something that I am making up as I go. This might be too symmetrical of a design. I don't know how I feel about that one. It doesn't have that galactic standard text look that the other one has. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to mimic the other one in mirror form. You know what? Let's go get steak. Okay. Let's go clean that up. Do it a little bit different. I gotta look at this one. I was just making this one up. Now I gotta duplicate it. 3 question mark upside down T. That all those jumble of words made sense to me in my head. Go there, there. I don't know if I did that right. It's only 3 wide. All right, and then well, Fairbear, I'm glad that you are still willing to stick around for the stream. It's not going to be on for very much longer. You might only have 300 milliseconds of ping, but I think I've got about 3 brain cells left at this point. Let's see if I actually made this symmetrical. Yeah, good enough for now. This lower portion, I will have to figure out some other time because I am at a loss as to what color would look good there. I don't exactly want to just overpower everything with the warped stripped hyphae. I'm gonna get that right eventually, but I am happy with the way this is looking. We're probably, instead of full blocks up here, we're probably going to be switching to half slabs, lower half slabs, so that it is spawn proof. And then we might be adding some more detail with some shelves or something like that. Shelves. Maybe let's go see what that looks like. Where am I going? I have stuff everywhere. This is where my wood storage is. Do I have... No. Oh, I don't have the inventory space. Let's go drop some stuff off. Get you guys back, and you, and put this back here. This back. Put all of this in here. Put that there. That's going in there. We'll put that back where it belongs. What else do we got? Ooh, there's a gold block. And more gold. Not that. Fascinating. Well, let's put this back away here. That's handy. I can add a couple more blocks to my pyramid cap. Okay, what was I doing? I was getting... Yeah. Well, let's go over here first. Doink, doink. Okay, let's make some shelves, if I can remember how. Oh, not in caps lock. Okay, that needs to be stripped. Logs. All right. It's going to take 6 of them. That's 10, 11, 12. Let's try this. That's 12. That's it. Oh my gosh, that's expensive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 12 more. That's going to be 36. $48. think that'll be enough. I would like Mojang to develop a workbench that is a table saw, so that you can use it on wood like you would a stone cutter. So I could just slip these logs in there and be able to make stripped stuff or shelves. That is a very useful workbench in my opinion. That way you can just, all the wood variants, buttons, maybe make it so it's got an advantage, so a wooden button doesn't take an entire plank block, because really it doesn't need to take that much. Oh, that's going to be interesting. We're going to have a hard time doing that one. I may, let's see here. We're doing this way. Let's just see. There we go. That might help us a little bit. Might be needed here if we do shelves all the way around. Nope. Okay, that looks interesting, having that there. I still feel like there needs to be something right there, but we might be able to do something with trapdoors, or maybe we will take out some of the shelves and we'll put in some fences sticking out. Yeah, the table saw would make too much sense, wouldn't it? Oh, nuts. I'll do that off camera. Replacing the mushroom stem blocks. I'll do that off camera. Okay, I'm not completely thrilled about how this is starting to look too much like this. Like, I might clean it up so that it's not as dirty here, so at least they pop out a little bit more like that. And I might introduce more sandstone and less quartz into this. Like, it may only blend into the smooth sandstone here. Think that's what I'll end up doing, but that'll be an off-camera thing. We'll take a look at it in the next stream after I've gotten that done, and we'll see how things look. But I think this is a really solid start for this. Real quickly, I'll just show you something. We'll come up here to look at this. So you can see these little bump outs here on the exterior wall. That is where there are going to be more of these columns. So we are going to have on the exterior, made it. On the exterior, we are going to have, you know, there's one at the end here, and then there's going to be 1, 2, 3 in the center, and then another corner one. So this is quite a big build. We're going to have a lot of gradient going on. So yeah, I think I will reduce that gradient down to sandstone on the flat walls. Rather than having it go all the way to quartz, so that, one, there's less work to do, but also there's more distinction between the columns and the recessed panels of the walls. But yeah, I think that is a good place for us to close this off. Let's get turned here so we can take a look at our work for today. Yeah, but this was a good stream, in my opinion. I mean, we made a lot of progress on this building, And I just want to thank everyone for joining in the chat and participating. Really appreciate it. It was good to hang out with y'all, and hopefully I can see you again in the next one. If anybody is watching this at a later date on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so that you can get posted or you can get notified of when I am posting new videos. But thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you all next time. Bye.